Form, as we know it in rhetoric and writing, originates in ancient philosophy. Plato defined form as an archetype, as the perfect model upon which all material objects are based. True forms do not exist in the physical world, or space and time, and cannot be perceived by the senses. All that we experience here on Earth are just imitations of the true forms of objects. For example, all chairs in the real world are in fact poor imitations of the one true form of the chair. Aristotle, on the other hand, believed that forms do exist in the physical world. We can perceive form with our senses. When an object is broken down into its most basic parts, we find the form and the matter. The structure or shape of the object is the form, while the material used to create that structure is the matter. Just as Plato can be shaped into many different shapes, so too can basic matter be shaped into forms. Let's jump to Quintilian's theory of forms, where we start to see how all of this philosophy begins to relate to the concept of form as we know it in rhetoric and writing. Quintilian's text, the Institutio Oratoria, developed a system for speechwriting that included process categories like invention, arrangement, memory, style, and delivery, the building blocks for speechmaking and later for composition. Quintilian also believed that tropes, or metaphorical language, were useful to speechmaking. This organization of speechmaking still influences the forms that speeches and compositions take today. Cicero, whose political and philosophical influence is said to have helped jumpstart the Enlightenment, went further and divided oratory into genres: the judicial, the deliberative, or political, and the demonstrative, or the rhetoric of ceremonial occasions. With the help of these philosophers and rhetoricians, as well as the invention of things like the printing press, the paragraph, and the subsequent standardization of grammar and punctuation, form as we know it in modern rhetoric, composition, and literature took shape.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed.
Today, the term form can refer to anything from the genre and arrangement of a piece of text or speech to the format in which the text or speech is delivered. Today, we remain influenced by ancient philosophers and rhetoricians in our speechmaking and composition. The term form continues to expand its definition as technology allows us to present our texts and speeches in new and interesting ways. I think it is safe to predict that the definition of form will continue to grow and change as we discover new ways to write, to speak, and to deliver.